Hello students, welcome back. I have been working very hard trying to figure this out so that we can start non-traditional instruction this week. I hope that you and your family are all doing well, and I miss seeing you guys. So it's nice to get back to work this week. So this will be about a 15 or 20 minute video. And then there are a couple of things that I would like for you to do in Google Classroom this week for your English class. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is just the table of contents, week 1. Who knows how long we'll be doing this, but this is for the week of April 7th through April 10th. So this week, we're going to work on literary terms. And I started here because Dr. Reed said that she would like for us to continue with CFAs. We were scheduled to have 2 more CFAs, I think number 9 and number 10, I believe, for the school year. And the 9th CFA is answering questions about a poem. So I wanted to just review with you the literary terms that you would find on that CFA that, if at all possible, you're going to be taking in the next couple weeks or so. So for lesson 1, week 1, we will be interpreting figurative language and imagery in poetry. What you will be doing is analyzing Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. So today we will, or when you're watching this video, I'd like for you to take some time, pause the video, and go write a quick write. You'll have the opportunity to share your quick write when we do a Google Meets session, or possibly, I guess it would be a Google Meets session later this week. Remember those quick write topics as far as the good, the bad, and the ugly, gratitude countdown, maybe current event. You could write about the book you're currently reading. But I would say set a timer for about 4 or 5 minutes and just write during that time. I have my journal sitting here. I have been writing every morning. It's the first thing I do. Start with a gratitude countdown, which can be a little bit challenging at times when you're not leaving the house, to come up with things that you're grateful for. And I've also been trying to write a page, a little bit about what is going on or what had happened the day before as far as being in this time like no other, where everyone is staying home. All right. Also, what we'll be doing this week is to complete the graphic organizer found on Google Classroom. You will have some independent practice on the Common Lit website that was actually posted last week, so some of you may have had a chance to do that early. If not, I'd like for you to take the time now, when you get a chance, to read The Road Not Taken and answer questions assigned through that website. You'll see 5 questions, I believe, and then I would also like for you to complete the 1 discussion question also found in Google Classroom. So that's a little bit about what I would like for you to do. All right, so let's get started. What is figurative language? The literal meaning of a word is its definition as you would find it in the dictionary. However, figurative language uses words in some way other than their literal meanings to make a comparison, to add emphasis, or to say something in a fresh and creative way. And you'll notice I put that in red because that's what we do in our writing when we try to include figurative language. We're saying something in a fresh and creative way, and some of you are really good at including figurative language in your writing. Examples of figurative language include alliteration, imagery, metaphor, automatopoeia, personification, and simile. There are a few others that we may get to in another lesson. However, those are the ones that we will be concentrating on this week. So, alliteration, when 2 or more words in a group of words begin with the same sound, usually the same letter or group of letters. For example, Anne's awesome apple and Fred's frozen French fries. You will, if these look familiar to you, they do come from the scope list of literary terms that I believe Miss Holland had given to you earlier this year. These are definitely words that you need to be familiar with, and I know some of them will be a review for you, but just to make sure, I know sometimes we have to hear things a couple of times and be reminded of things, so that's why we're going over these now. So the next one we're going to talk about is imagery. Imagery is language that portrays sensory experiences, or experiences of the five senses. The five senses, of course, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Authors use imagery to describe actions, characters, objects, and ideas, and to heighten the emotional effect of their writing. One way authors create imagery is through the use of figurative language. So that kind of tells you a little bit about how figurative language is related to imagery. I'm going to stop here to talk about some good news. We had been working so hard, you have been working so hard on your writing this year that you have the major writing pieces completed for your portfolio at this point. However, if you are unhappy with your narrative, your informative explanatory piece, your argument, you are welcome to write a new one during this time that you have at home. Or if you want to take a look at those pieces and maybe add some imagery, take a look at what you've written so far, what you have for your major writing pieces, and see if there's any changes that you would like to make. This is what, when we do our read-around groups, this is what usually the people who win or who receive the most votes for having the best piece is because they do a really good job with this imagery, because it kind of puts your reader in the writer's shoes, so to speak. Okay? All right. You'll notice that that April writing piece is optional. If you'd like to work on a piece and submit it to me, I will probably have more time to read those than I usually do. Okay? All right, so this is an image that I liked. I wanted to share with you on what is imagery. Here's an example of sight. The tiny red ant climbed up the broken twig. For smell, the sweet smell of freshly baked apple filled the air. Taste, one bite of the sour lemon caused my lips to pucker. Sound, the car squeaked every time I hit a bump in the road. Or touch, the sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting. All examples of imagery. Moving on to our next type of figurative language is a metaphor. The comparison of two unlike things to illuminate a particular quality or aspect of one of those things. For example, Karen was a ray of sunshine is a metaphor in which Karen is compared with a ray of sunshine. The metaphor suggests that Karen was cheerful, happy, warm, hopeful, qualities that we associate with the sun. Metaphors state that one thing is something else, and they do not use the words like or as. Automatopoeia, the use of words whose sounds imitate the sounds of what they describe, such as hiss, murmur, growl, honk, buzz, wolf, etc. Personification, describing non-human animals and objects or ideas as though they possess human qualities or emotions. For example, the moon smiled down at her. I felt the cold hand of death on my shoulder. There is a battle being fought in my garden between the flowers and the weeds. Obviously, flowers and weeds are not really able to fight in battle. A simile is when two unlike things are compared using like or as in order to illuminate a particular quality or aspect of one of those things. For example, Randy's voice is like melted chocolate is a simile in which Randy's voice is compared to melted chocolate. The simile suggests that Randy's voice is smooth, rich, sweet, warm, which are qualities we associate with melted chocolate. Here's one other one that I would like to add. I know that it is not on your figurative language graphic organizer, but it was found in the questions. For those of you who had a chance to take a look at The Rose That Grew from Concrete on Common Lit last week or the week before spring break, it asked a question that included this term, symbolism. Symbolism is going to be the practice of using symbols. And in order to understand that definition, you have to know what a symbol is. A symbol is going to be an object, setting, event, animal, or person that on one level is itself, but that has another meaning as well. For example, the American flag is really a piece of fabric with stars and stripes on it, but it also represents the United States and ideals like freedom, patriotism, and pride. In a story or play, rain could be used as a symbol. The rain would really be rain, but it might also represent an idea, like sadness, or leaving the past behind. So that takes us to your independent work. What I would like for you to do is to log into commonlit.com, read The Road Not Taken, and complete the questions on the website about the poem. After reading and answering the questions on the website, I'd also like for you to complete the quiz found in Google Classroom. It's one question, and just don't forget to use RACES, which means to restate the question, answer all parts of the question, cite text, evidence, and don't forget to explain your answer and support in that quiz, in your response on that quiz. And the last thing that goes along with this lesson 1, this first lesson in our NTI instruction, is to complete the graphic organizer found in Google Classroom, where you write the definitions and examples for the different literary terms that we talked about today. All right, so I hope that you learned something new today. I look forward to seeing your face, hopefully, in one of our Google Meets sessions this week. I know that this first week is going to be interesting, and it's exciting to get back to learning. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I will see you in an upcoming video soon. Thank you. Bye.